Hey y'all, how you doing today? I'm gonna go over how to go from mixed to improper. It's one of my favorite things to teach just because every time I teach it, the kids are like, what? I'm like, yeah. All right, so common mistakes: forgetting where to place the multiplication and the plus sign. And also things that I often see is students will stop after multiplying and not go all the way to the top. I'll get more into that in my visual example. Hints for this topic: the bottom number stays the same no matter what. And think of your first job. X is bad, plus is good. So let's get into it. 4 1/3 we need to convert to an improper fraction. So the first thing is the bottom stays the same, and that goes for whether you are going from mixed to improper or from improper to mixed. The bottom number will not change. All right, so think of your first job. I love this one. So your first job, you're 15 years old or 16, and you go into an interview. You have no previous job experience. The manager, whoever is hiring you, is not going to say, oh, look, somebody who's never worked. Let's make them a manager. No, that's not going to happen. What will happen is you're going to start at the bottom of the pay scale. You're going to start at the very first like basic job that there is. Okay. And so when you're starting at the bottom of a pay scale, do you get paid well or do you get paid the least? You get paid the least. Now, getting paid the least, is that good or bad? That's bad. Nobody likes to get paid the least. Absolutely not. Okay. Then you work your way up to the very top. What happens once you work your way up to the top at work? You get paid more. Okay, that's how I do that. And then the next mistake, so that's forgetting where to place the X and the plus. So if you think of your first job and you're like, all right, my first job, I start here, I'm not going to get paid good, so I put an X because I'm not going to like that. I get paid good up here, I'm going to put a plus. That helps you remember where those go. Okay, my next issue is stopping after multiplying. Think about it as your first job. Are you just going to make like a couple bucks more and be like, I'm content? No, you're going to try and make as much money as you possibly can. You're going to go all the way to the top, and then you follow it. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Let's try another one. All right, here we go. 10 2/3. So if you would like to, you can pause it and try it again. Now, remember I said you never forget where you came from. You never forget where you started. Remember, this is your very first job, and you're starting at the bottom, right? So if you became rich and famous 10 years from now and you're on the red carpet, or 20 years from now, you're on the red carpet, you're some music producer, or you're some rich person, something, you're out there, you're doing the thing, right? And they ask you, oh, where did you come from? Where were you raised, right? You're going to say exactly where were you raised, which is exactly where you came from, which is exactly where you started. I'm in New Jersey, so I would say, oh, I'm from Jersey. I don't care if I live in Tokyo, if I live in LA, if I live in New York City, no matter where around the world. If somebody asks me where I was raised, where I first started off, it's going to be South Jersey. This is where I'm starting off. It's going to be a 3. This is where we're starting off here. Your bottom's going to stay a 5. So here we go. I'm starting my job. I'm at the very bottom of the pay scale, which, ew, that stinks. Okay, and then up here, you're good. So we get 3 times 10 is 30, plus 2 is 32. We'll try it again. Also, like doing the bottom number first, carrying that over, because now it looks like half of my work is already done. So I start my first job, I get paid the least. I don't like that. Once I make it to the top, I get paid the most. I like that. That's a good thing. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 4 is 19. Okay, and one more. The bottom stays the same. I start down here in the pay ladder. I don't like that. Once I make it to the top, I get paid the most. I'm happy with that. That's a good thing. 9 times 5 is 45, plus 2 is 47. I hope this helped. Bye.